Welcome back to the Heart of the Bear Factory. This is Pawsitive Impact, the show that talks about making plushies with an impact. My name is Rob Johnson, and this is episode 3 of season 2. Gentlemen, welcome.
Morning.
So we are back again to talk a little bit about, we'll call it one of the minor parts of the business, the accessories. And it might not be minor, but it's something that people don't necessarily think about when you think about going to buy new stuffed animals. How can you accessorize this thing? And what I want to start with is, Jerry, from your perspective, when you started the company, at what point did accessories become something that you put more focus into?
Right out of the gate.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Because I'd think it would just be, in my mind, it's just bears, but
no,
it's right from the beginning.
Because it was the difference between build your own, make your own plush was all about accessorizing the animal, customizing the animal, bringing it to life, rather than a pre-stuffed plush, which is already made for you. You just go in, you pick it out, and usually there wasn't clothing, there wasn't recordable sound modules, there wasn't hats, there wasn't shirts, custom T-shirts, prints, or names of the children on the T-shirt, whatever it may be. All of that stuff, is something that you had to have in your line right out of the gate.
No, that makes sense. And I guess how has that evolved from a process standpoint? Like what has that evolution been like? And you guys are going into, you're almost at year 25. How has that evolved?
It's gotten a little easier because after 25 years, you really know what they're looking for. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't come up with a new idea. Jimmy comes up with those new ideas, and then you have to implement them. And you go according to the times. There's certain things that are happening, in the United States or in different countries, political issues, environmental issues. So we try to take advantage and stay on the cutting edge of all of those things that are happening.
I think too, also having our core, like we've been able to identify core items over the years where you have your swings that you take when you go outside of that a little bit. Like one of my swings was like the product care line, which are biodegradable soaps. That was a bit of a swing as far as offering people a way to elongate the longevity of their plush products by being able to wash them and come out with easy tutorials on how to do that, and those are all located on the bottom. Like every single plushie has a scannable QR code that mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever could scan, and we just walk them through, this is how to take care of your plush. Where most tags, what you'll find is it's just these 3 or 4 hieroglyphic marks that is like, this means cold water, this means air dry, don't heat dry, and like you have to go and Google what it means. But we like to have the personal touch, and that's exactly what accessories are, is that personal touch on the experience for everybody. But like insertables, recording modules, recording modules have always been really big throughout the years. We at one point had sound, like animal sound modules. We discontinued those just because those weren't big movers.
They end up running out of a battery and become more of a problem. We had Christmas songs, we had birthday songs, all of those things. Some people still offer them, but they end up becoming more of a problem because then the child gets mad because the battery or the recordable sound or the sound doesn't work. The recordable sound, started out at 10 seconds and went to 30 seconds. Now it's at 60 seconds. And the recordable sound is one of the more important items. It is one of the items that is under a tariff situation that has existed, since the last, 2 administrations ago. Now, that being said, that is a really, really delicate situation because you want to make sure that that battery never runs out, because what happens if it's a parent who says, something to their child if they're going overseas and they never came back, in war or something like that? you want to make sure that that is retained as a memoried item, and so Jimmy's, went through a process on the recordable sound.
Yeah, we updated it to a more standard battery that could be used and more easily accessed. We actually just received in an even newer version of that, where we're introducing a rechargeable battery module. So with a USB cord, you'd be able to recharge that module, because we get a lot of people all the time where, like exactly Jerry said, we've had people say, like, children who have passed, their voices are on them, and it's been 5 years and it's starting to wear down, and like that's completely heartbreaking. Or grandparents, they'll do the recording, or their firstborn's heartbeat is on it. So just finding ways to preserve it. So we have both models, where it's a more easily accessible battery that can be changed out, but for a better user interface and experience, we this is like our traditional one with the battery that's inside that can be removed, and now we have our new one that can just be easily charged via USB, both with 60-second capability. But changing with the times, identifying a problem that we had with this one. Some people are still going to want this because of the price point. Like this costs more. Like, it has a higher quality battery that can be recharged. It costs more. So just identifying problems and creating some solutions for them while still maintaining price points that people can get the products at.
And you would never know to do that unless you get some of those heartbreaking stories.
Yeah.
And so that's how you learn in this business, because this business is a feel-good business. That's what we're all about, bringing memories that last, to life. And so when a grandparent goes to some location and builds an animal with their grandchild, putting their voice or a voice or some voice in the recordable really is a retained thing.
Yeah, it's the little moments that really matter. Taking the time, we have birth certificates, taking the time to fill out the birth certificate after a child has done a Stuff a Plush experience, or even taking the time to help them dress their plushie and put an insertable star or paw print inside of that plushie. It's more than just the transaction. It's 100% the showmanship, the stewardship, and the experience that you're creating for kids. And we have customizable clothing line, which is great for companies and attractions from a branding standpoint. But we have people who reach out for bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs. Those are really great, significant events for the family and for the community. And they'll buy plushies, and then they'll put, they'll do a custom shirt to memorialize that event. So there's lots of different ways that you can go, from just customized clothing to T-shirts to, I'll even bring up our plushie over there. It was a pretty tumultuous year last year as far as it being a political cycle, and we decided to say, let's take a very middle of the road approach as far as what's going on. So we came up with Make America Cuddly Again. And I have had customers who love it. I have had customers who hate it. I have customers who have said, what is that about? Talk to me about it. And, our country, we're still one country. You have people who sit on different sides of the aisle. I think everyone should respect each other's viewpoints and be able to have open conversation about it. This is an opportunity to have open conversation. This is definitely geared more towards us as adults as a healing process more than kids. So it, we have to be able to, calm down and stop being so knee-jerk reaction. And I hate social media. We have to engage with it as a company. I have my new communications girl taking care of it. You guys take care of stuff for us too. And I've deleted Facebook and Instagram off my phone just because I need a detox from it. But I think social media has really made our culture more knee-jerk reaction, and they don't think about the things that they say anymore. And that's where having these types of experiences, whether it's going to a local art studio and hand making a pot, or doing, I think they still do like paint. They say paint and pours. Yeah. You know, just like get out, get in front of friends, meet new people, do something with your hands. You know, just get out from in front of a screen, and just do something. And you know, that the Make America Cuddly again was purely like a fun way to kind of try to take one of those situations that was very taboo. Like this past election was very taboo for people to talk about. Yeah. And like I said, we're one country and like one nation, and I think people need to remember that. And the world is not going to explode tomorrow because of something that happened. And you know, it's a time to come together again. And you know, yeah, I have concerns as far as, you know, environmental policy that's going on, and there's groups that we sit on, like the Great Lakes Business Network, and I have people on there who are super concerned about things that are going on, but they're also small business owners, and you know, I've been able to get them to admit that they're optimistic about, you know, changes in policy that could positively impact them. So there's always going to be a give and take. You just gotta, you know, relax. But it's the personal touches.
For sure. Well, I think too, like who isn't going to get on board with a, you know, Make America Cuddly again? Who's going to be like, no, I don't want that. I want to be less cuddly. That thing's adorable. It's was that an Arctic fox?
Yeah, that's an Arctic fox. But yeah, like just taking hats and, you know, creating, taking something that people it's sensitive for people and being able to have a conversation. Like that's a great example of something like that. But you know, additionally, as far as other accessories and things like that, it's, you know, like we talked about it, you have your core items and you take your swings with things like that. And it's all of it is purely meant to make people smile and have a good time and to slow down and just be present again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important. And I like, you know, as we're talking about this more, it's more unifying than it is polarizing in terms of, you know, just encouraging people to, you know, think about these things at a much deeper level and, you know, process this without, you know, being in front of screens and, you know, being out in the community more. And these are all things that, you know, businesses and, you know, community type groups should be championing. You know, it's not just solely about, you know, locking people into social media and, you know, continuing these, you know, same narratives over and over. So I like the accessorization. I like what you guys are doing from, you know, just different products. And, you know, to your point, Jerry, like different things happen around the world at different times. And, you know, from a business standpoint, it's a good idea to highlight those and include those in the business if it makes sense.
Well, one of the other things that I really liked, you know, about, you know, the Make American Cuddly again, is that even in our business, we have both sides. We have red and blue in our building. So why wouldn't we give both sides, you know, an equal opportunity to be part of the company? So, and there's missions to our madness. It was a way for us to realign our building and, you know, say, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. You know, and you know, Jimmy did it. I wasn't quite sure at the beginning because, like Jimmy said, it's so polarized. But at some point, you know, we have to start making some changes, you know, so that
Somebody's got to speak up.
Somebody's got to say something to break the log jam. And if it's a blue hat and a red shirt, great start. At least we started, you know, a dialogue in the building where we're honoring both sides.
Yeah, and you can't make all your decisions like, you know, there's this social media gun to your head, and if you make a wrong call, you know, you're going to be in trouble, because then it's kind of giving in to that, you know, same mentality where, you know, you're focusing on the thoughts and opinions of people who really have no weight. They're not necessarily customers. They're just people. So that's smart.
These are our people that we see every day.
Exactly.
That, you know, we work for them, they work for us. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Without us, they wouldn't be here. So it's an equal opportunity company, and that's the way we want to keep it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. And we too, if there's customers that like really get bent out of shape about it, then, you know, we have a pretty strict policy. Like not every customer is our customer. And if we have someone who's completely polarized one way or the other, you know, we're selling children's toys. Like, people say, do you get stressed out at your job? And it's like, no, like, we're making teddy bears at the end of the day. We're not splitting atoms. Like, you know, it's really okay. And the industry that we're in, like, we're just about having a positive experience. See what I did
Nice.
there? Yeah.
I like that. You did that earlier too. I was gonna highlight it.
Yeah, just having a positive experience. And if there's negativity or something that you're carrying around, then, you know, there's plenty of other companies you can go work with. That's okay. You know, we wish you the best, but like, we wanna honor both sides.
Well, as far as I remember, red and blue were around for a really long time. So, you know, let's just make red and blue good again.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like, as you guys are talking about, you know, I like hearing about the history, and I was surprised when you said, Jerry, that there's, you know, right. I guess it makes sense, the accessorization right from the beginning, but certainly not where my mind went to, which is why I didn't start a teddy bear company. So
yeah, we can, and then we do obviously do for our buddy that we're going to point out to, like our whole custom plush line. This particular one is more just a shout out to a customer that I know has been working super hard, who's been in their industry space for 30 years now. And this is actually a new group venture that we're working with called Do the Beach, and this is Dewey the Penguin. They're actually an inflatables amusement park. So an amusement park just made all out of inflatables. Oh, wow. Super cool. So they're launching this year. I believe I've been told that they need, you know, a couple thousand of these in May, and we're pushing to make that happen right now. But, you know, just there's always like cool different things, and they came to us and they said, we really want to bring Dewey to life, and they gave us some, you know, just some pictures and things like that of like Dewey hanging out on a surfboard with his glasses, and you know, doing stuff like this that bring things to life and just really help propel brands into what they're trying to accomplish is super cool. So I wanted to do a shout out to Dewey because I think he's a pretty slick dude, and I definitely need to make it a point to take Araya to one of the Do the Beach, because I've never heard of an inflatables park, and it sounds pretty cool.
that's awesome. I think a good segment for us would be for me to guess what type of animal it is when you're holding it up, because like for a second, until I saw the feet, I thought it was a dolphin. And I know how dumb that sounds, because dolphins don't have feet.
Dolphins have orange beaks,
Yeah.
and yellow beaks. Huh?
And that's even more embarrassing because I just did swimming with the dolphins over the holidays, so I should know better. Yeah, totally. Then I thought maybe it's a duck, but it's a penguin. Makes sense.
Definitely a penguin.
All right, very good. Well, I think on that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. So that's going to wrap up the third episode of Pawsitive Impact for Season 2. If you want to know more about the Bear Factory, please check out the show notes for all of the latest and greatest coming out of this fantastic company. Apart from that, we'll catch you next time with a new episode. Take care.